We back, this time with full auto Solly, and I still cannot pronounce her full name. I did actually try to look it up and found her name actually might be French. Also, as a PSA, Soldier Death Pin will be better to use, but I don't use it in this video because who actually has Soldier Death Pin? The minimum score to get to is 12k, and we will do our best to reach that. I've got two setups to show: a budget team made up of farmable units, banner units, and units available through the new player selector, and an invested team for those with more resources. So let me show you what I got. Okay. First things first, we're going to deploy a Mina here. She's basically going to be our front line, but also really good DPS for this. And with the reactor, she's actually really hard to kill versus this boss, as the boss doesn't actually attack all that often, so she'll be able to last pretty long. Those really, with Chinatsu, she doesn't ever actually get in danger at these mods. You could actually use, apply a little bit more HP mods if you wanted to on this, and should be okay. Now, Rivet does die, but that's fine because, well, on this fight, we can't really control a lot with our front line, so things are going to end up dying, but they're low cost, so it's okay. They're going to cycle out and be okay. Now, honestly, pick any unit or pick any sniper that I've put on this team, and you could swap out for and be okay. And Swan is on banner right now, though her defense buff that gets cleansed every time the boss uses his special. Damage champ is permanent or cannot be cleansed, so it actually turns out to be really good for this, as we're able to sit there and pump out damage, which we need to before she reaches our ship. Overall, a clean fight. And even though wardens are up, Amina being an awakened still just really does most of the damage here. Here for the budget team, we are running Matador as the ship, though any damaged ship would probably be okay as well. This team does support both Kim, Hana, and Vivian. It's set up for the proc, so you should be good running either one of those. And for gear, we're running Mina on, honestly, whatever she had on last, which seems to be anti-striker gear, but anti-siege, attack speed, melee damage, all those work. Rivet has no gear. I'm doing that because she's 120, though the 120 investment is nice. She already has a ton of anti-CO damage on, already, but anti-siege, anti-ground, all that, of course. Chinatsu we want on our tanky CDR gear so that we can get heals out as much as possible. Swan, I actually have on just CDR here, but tanky CDR works just as well. Wardens, I didn't even complete the set. I wanted a little damage on them, just to make things a little smoother, but anti-siege, anti-ground. Yang we're using for her shields, so we want as much skill haste. Tanky is preferred. Agnes is interesting. Agnes I have just on some tanky gear, and truthfully, that's probably best, just so that she lives until she can get her 3 attacks off, but you can experiment and try with some damage gear. And then Soyun's gear doesn't really matter. Just put her on whatever has damage on it. You could go tanky, but her dying is okay too. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and start off with Kurian and Swan here. Kurian's going to definitely carry us this entire fight, but we do want to kind of protect him with a tanky Swan to walk in front here to take these attacks. We do want Kurian to take some damage, but just the mind damage is enough. We really don't want him fully taking the entire time. And truthfully, Swan's we actually don't want Swan to live too long here. We just need her for her 2 specials that'll apply a permanent damage amp for the rest of the fight. And of course we have JSY. JSY is actually really funny on this fight. Not only can he counter the mines, but he has perfect evasion, so he's not going to take a terrible lot of damage here, and his passive attacks do true damage. And fortunately enough, Korean with his ulti will reposition himself so that he's not fully tanking the entire time, which works out great for us. Ella's gonna come in, counter some mines. We're gonna have Spencer here sit there and buff us. And then of course we have Agnes, who applies a permanent 20% defense break, which will give us 20% defense break and 20% damage amp the entire time. And of course, you see that damage? Do you see that chunkage that we just had from AJSY? Oh my goodness. Here we go. And of course, like I said, Curran's definitely going to be doing all the carrying here. For the invested team, we are running Matador as the ship, Vivian as the operator. For gear, we are running anti-siege attack on Korean, but double anti-siege would be better here. For Swan, we are running a CDR set, but we're not running full skill haste. We are actually running all ground res. We do have to take some hits, so we need her to be a little tanky. For Jushyun, we are running attack speed, melee damage. We want him spamming his passive as much as possible. Agnes, we are going to be running attack speed tank. That way we can get our debuff applied and live to do it. Ella is on tanky CDR. We need her surviving and being able to counter mines. Spencer's on full tank CDR. We need her spamming her skill. Dorothy is just on Swift. There's no real anything that'll make her actually do that much better, so might as well go with getting out her buffs as quick as possible. And then Soyun doesn't actually matter what she wears. You can actually put some damage on her, but she's just there for the last 30%. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope this helps you get the minimum score this season. Not that it matters, but I really am starting to think B-Side hates the 8 flying units in this game. They're constantly getting debuffs lately. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're feeling extra special, you can join the Mage Institute by clicking the join button. You can catch me on Discord, link is in the description, and if you want to help support this channel, there's a link in the description for that too. As always, I will see you all next time.